happy, be healthy, be your best.
All right, it's been a crazy week, but it's really been a really great week. But today's Saturday, which is usually our Friday, but it's kind of a casual Saturday. I got my sweats on with my puppy dogs on the side and my Converse sneakers. We're pretty relaxed here at the office most of the time, but we really have had a pretty outstanding week. And it really just made me realize that we have started to do a combination of things that is really becoming very effective with people. And so I sat and thought about it and kind of this morning was like, you know what? This is what I want to talk to people about today because it ran through my head this morning and I realized how true it was. So we talked in an episode before about the Theta Chamber. Okay. The Theta Chamber is something that rewires neural networks of the brain and it really helps people with things like fear, anger, depression, stress, different addictions, different physical things like hormone balance, weight control, focus, concentration, whatever. It's really, really highly effective in helping people with that. And the reason that that's important is usually over here, we run a scan program, and the scan program shows 18 different categories of programs in the program, 18 different categories of problems that they may have, the causes. But one of the biggest causes is emotion. And so when they're in the theta chamber, it's helping to rewire the brain for the neural networks that are a direct result often of trauma and different emotions throughout their whole lifetime. So it really hit me how much we help people with the scan to come up with what they need to do with lifestyle changes. But a lot of times what that involves is they need to change their diet. They need to exercise. They need to do hydration. There's different supplementation that they need to take in order to have the nutrients reach the parts of the body that need the assistance. Okay. So there is a detoxing, there's a rebuilding. It's like a construction project, right? And then it hit me when we do things like the theta chamber, that's a direct application. It makes it work right away. It works hand in glove with the scans that we're doing. Well, we have so much more in this office that I realize is doing the exact same thing. And that's why we had people so excited this week because they're seeing faster results because we are combining things that do a direct application with the information that we're finding when we're scanning. So let me show you a few of the other things. One of the other things that we have is we've got a hydrogen machine. Now, the hydrogen machine is where they have a cannula and they breathe hydrogen. And at the same time, it bubbles the hydrogen into the water. And every 15 minutes, they're drinking hydrogen water. This has a massively beneficial effect on the body with different things like systemic inflammation, okay? Just different things going on in the body that construction of the hydrogen water and breathing the hydrogen starts to immediately work with an effect in a very beneficial way. Another thing that we've been using with people is that we have the acoustic light wave. We're actually able to pick from 1,200 different frequencies what a person can have running that works directly on their body and helps to direct application start to make a change in the body. When they combine that with using theta, drinking hydrogen water, and the things that we find in their scan, your body starts to make some really good changes. Another thing we have is the RF cleanse. This is something that they put their feet on, bare feet, and we run a program that does frequencies up into the body that stimulates the body to start activating their lymphatic system, activating their circulation, and having the ability to start detoxing the body. Highly effective. This is one of my favorite ones that we just got recently. This is rain. We did a podcast on rain. This one's like being at the beach for a few days, maybe up to a week, walking in the forest, being by a waterfall, 1.4 million frequencies, negative ions going through the body. And that has a massive effect on seasonal depression, which my whole family has been subject to over the years. It works with the immune system. It works with the respiratory system, boosts the immune system, helps with mood, helps with sleep, helps with energy. It's people sit under this and they absolutely love it. So think about when you're running all of that through the body and you've stimulated the body to start detoxing. You've been drinking hydrogen water that assists all of that. You're rewiring the brain for the effects of different emotions from over a lifetime. And you start to just compound the different benefits to the body. And it's just very exciting to see the effects that people have and the progress that they make that is so much quicker when they can put the construction project of what they need to take with supplements and the lifestyle changes they need to make with different machines that do direct application that is specified for them, personalized for them, and so beneficial. So let's look at another one. So here the angle's a little difficult, but we have the hyperbaric chamber. It's a low pressure hyperbaric chamber, so there's no danger of fire of explosion, and 2 people can sit in it. And when they're in there, there's cannulas where they breathe oxygen directly, and then we close the door, and the pressure builds and releases and builds and releases and pushes all of the oxygen into the areas of the body that don't get good blood circulation. I read a report a couple of weeks ago that said that if you can even get into a hyperbaric once a year, it is phenomenally beneficial for the body. Other reports show that the more regularly you do it, obviously, the more the body benefits. Inside our hyperbaric, we also have the same frequencies that were over in that big tube. We have a smaller one in here that runs when people are doing a session. And we also have the ability to do light therapy. When they're in there with that smaller tube, we're able to pick out of the same 1,200 possibilities or frequencies that we can run to help their body with what's bothering them while that oxygen is being concentrated and pushed into the body. Everybody loves this. We compare it to a small, like being in the Orient in a small hotel room. We have a lot of people that just crawl in together as a couple or whatever, or somebody brings a friend and they just take a great nap for an hour or so, and they feel so great when they get out. Another one that we have is over here, and it's an orthopedic infrared bed. This is fantastic. People have to wear the protective eye gear, but it is fantastic for putting Nogier frequencies through the body and infrared into the body that stimulates collagen production, helps with circulation, helps with scar tissue, helps with healing, just has so many massive benefits to the body. So think what happens when you start putting these all together. You start helping the healing with the oxygen that assists the body, with the RF cleanse that helps remove toxins, with the negative ions that soothe the body, the hydrogen water helping with systemic inflammation, the Theta Chamber rewiring to the emotions that have come over a lifetime. And then in addition to that, you've got the scanning that gives you the report that shows you exactly what the body needs to work on when it comes to lifestyle changes, food sensitivities, bacteria, mold, fungus, viruses. We're able to work with all of that together. But the direct application of the machines is definitely showing a huge effect when we combine that with what we find in the scanning. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour to kind of give you an idea of why we're excited, because the more that we've put these different machines in place and the more that we're having people experiencing them, they're just coming back and just thrilled with how they're feeling and how much progress they're making. So that's it for a casual Saturday. Hope you enjoyed the information. Talk to you again soon in another episode.